Hi, everyone, and welcome to this year's National Congress. Thank you all for joining us. As I know this year has been turned on its head, I'd like to first acknowledge that we know it's been incredibly tough for everyone. After several years of transition within our sport, we are now in the midst of a global pandemic, one we never thought we'd have to face, and one that has deeply impacted many gym clubs financially, as well as the jobs and livelihoods of our community, and our collective mental health too. But if there has been a silver lining, it is this. You all, our community, has shown tremendous resilience and how adaptive and innovative you can be in the face of so much turmoil. Just a few examples of this are we watched as gyms moved classes and training online and learned how to coach over platforms like Zoom and Skype. We saw the generosity of so many members step up to share their expertise and training across the community in an effort to help others. And this normally in-person National Congress has been moved to a new and entirely virtual format. We are right now also exploring the possibility of issuing virtual sanctions so you all can continue the competitive atmosphere in a safe and socially distanced way. Even before this pandemic, we were in the middle of a major transition as a community and an organization. And while we have been learning from where we've been and what we all have been going through, we have also been focused on intentionally creating a better path for the future of the sport and charting the course for the future of the organization. Part of that focus on the future has been building a new leadership team. We now have a full leadership team of incredible women who have all joined the team in the last 1.5 years and several in just the past 6 months. Over the next couple days, you'll get to learn more about each of them and meet them on the live stage, where they'll each be interviewed. You'll see that they share the passion of what we're all trying to achieve in the sport. We have also been working on redefining our mission. One of our new leadership team's first orders of business was to think critically about evolving the organization. That drove us to a new mission statement, which I'd like to share with you today. Our new mission at USA Gymnastics is to build a community and a culture of health, safety, and excellence where athletes can thrive in sport and in life. Each word in the statement was intentionally chosen as we believe that athletes can be successful in gymnastics and lead full and happy lives, and that we have the great responsibility of ensuring that our community and the culture of our sport allows them the opportunity to do both. For us, bringing that mission to life means becoming a more service-based organization that's focused on supporting our athletes and the community that supports them, all of you. With that focus in mind, we have defined a set of values that will guide our work. You may have heard me talk about these before, but I'd like to reiterate them. They are safety. We will promote a safe and inclusive environment for our athletes and our community. Accountability. We will hold ourselves responsible and accountable for all of our actions. Integrity. We will act with absolute integrity through values-based actions. Transparency. We will operate and communicate with transparency. And listening. We will treat our community with the utmost respect and listen to your challenges and perspectives. We hope you all live by these values as well, and that these values will help guide you in your day-to-day operations like they do for us. The new mission and values of USA Gymnastics will take some time to permeate throughout all of our operations and our sport, but we are committed to seeing that through, and I'd like to highlight some of the ways we're bringing those values to life now. Recently, our leadership team worked with the Athletes Council to develop an Athlete Bill of Rights, which contains 8 rights that all athletes, regardless of discipline or level, should be entitled to. It includes some of what might seem obvious, that athletes should have the right to participate and be treated fairly, train and compete safely, and to have their personal health and well-being prioritized. It also includes the right for athletes to be heard and respected, and the right to use their voices. Now, to be clear, this is not a policy document. Instead, we hope this serves as a statement of a shared commitment, not just from us at USAG, but from the whole community. Our hope is that we can come together to make sure that as a sport and a community, we are providing these foundational elements. You'll see the Bill of Rights come out in its entirety in the next few weeks. I'd also like to talk about what we've been doing within Safe Sport. We now have a new Chief of Athlete Wellness who oversees this team and brings extensive expertise to the table. There are new policies and procedures in place, and we continue to develop education on critical topics. We're also becoming more strategic. We are looking at ways in how we can collaborate more effectively with clubs to help keep kids safe, how we can improve our educational offerings, and how we can better support you all throughout the safe sport process. We're also looking more closely at data so decisions and tracking can be more informed. As part of our efforts, we're in the process of sharing a document that shows how reports are evaluated when they are received and how the tiers assigned to those cases affects who has jurisdiction and what type of measures may result. We hope this will help illuminate and bring some transparency to what the process entails, as we acknowledge the process has not been clear in the past. We also know that change is hard and that the new structure and policies of safe sport in the last few years have brought challenges and some concerns. Yet I also know how hard so many of you have worked to create safe and positive environments in your clubs. And I know how many of you have prioritized and embraced this work. I thank you for that dedication, and I challenge all of us to learn even more and continue to grow. Creating a culture and community of safety requires that we have a diverse and inclusive environment. Racism and intolerance are other forms of abuse that we cannot tolerate in gymnastics. A couple months ago, we made a statement on this topic and included some clear commitments. Progress has been made on several of those fronts. Each of the leadership team members has participated in webinars and roundtable discussions with the USOPC to discuss diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in sports. We plan to utilize a group called Inclusion Playbook for our leadership and staff training. They are a consultancy group made up of athletes, social justice advocates, and sports equity experts. We will also utilize RISE for ongoing training and development for staff and leadership. RISE is a national nonprofit that educates and empowers the sports community to champion social justice. In addition to those efforts, we are looking at ways implicit bias may impact judging and have identified 2 researchers from top prestigious universities to analyze our competition data. They are in the process of reviewing our data and mapping out the scope and length of the project. And finally, a third area of focus for us this year will be on the power of positive coaching. We've been ramping up our efforts on this over the last couple years and will continue to do so. We know that there are so many incredible coaches in this community who are positively changing kids' lives through your mentorship, through the example you set, and through the confidence you help instill, and we applaud you for that. Here are some of the other ways we'll be focusing on that this year. We will be continuing our partnership with the Positive Coaching Alliance, who has provided a number of webinars and educational tools for our membership. We will lead by example. USAG high performance directors and national staff for all disciplines will be trained in and use positive coaching techniques at USAG national team and developmental camps, competitions, and events. Finally, we'd like to highlight and celebrate all of you coaches out there who are really doing this well, and we'd like to solicit your feedback on who is setting those best examples. So we ask that you please share those stories with us. Before I sign off, I'd like to highlight a couple more important updates. First, there are 2 new partnerships that we'll be announcing at this Congress that were just signed. More importantly, I'm excited about our new approach to partnerships. We are now focused on partnerships that can deliver real value to our members and companies that share the same commitment to athletes that we do. So keep your eye out for those announcements. Second, I want to just assuage any doubt about the future of USA Gymnastics and some rumors that might be swirling lately. We are still here, and we don't plan on going anywhere. To be clear and specific about it, we are still planning to exit bankruptcy later this year or early next year, and are engaging in mediation to help move that along and hopefully find a mutually agreeable resolution with the survivors. We have not been decertified, and we are 100% committed to the future of this sport and serving the gymnastics community. On that last point, I also want to acknowledge that over the last year or so, we know we have largely been focused on improving the athlete experience. As an organization, this has needed to be and will continue to be a priority. But we also know that this community is made up of lots of different groups: club owners, coaches, judges, administrators, and many, many volunteers, to all of whom we owe a debt of gratitude for everything you have done and continue to do. So for that, we have an incredible responsibility and obligation to serve all of you as well. As we rebuild the trust of our athletes and collectively commit to providing them with the best gymnastics experience, holistically nurturing their growth and development, we will also be able to put more effort into and develop more resources for our other membership groups. We are thankful to this community for all of your commitment and patience as we work to make our mission, values, and commitments a reality. I am, of course, missing seeing all of you in person, but I'm also thrilled that we're able to attend this virtual event together. I hope all of you get a chance to meet the new leadership team and have a productive and knowledge-filled Congress. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for all that you're doing for the sport. We are truly grateful for it.